The Dog Whisperer. I like that show. I didn't want to like that show. But look what that show is. We watch a show to see if people's poorly behaved pets behave a little better by the end of the episode. Can you imagine 10 years ago if somebody suggested that to you? You would have spit in their face. I can't get up past the commercial. I got to see if the Labradoodle quits barking.
If you know comedy, you know Jim Norton. He's a notorious comedian who is the star of Opie and Anthony. He appeared on The Tonight Show many times, also has worked with just about everyone who's hot in comedy today. He's here to talk about his new epic special.
Thanks, bro.
And also we talk about business, so the business of comedy. Are you on board for that?
Sure.
Okay, great. Your special, first of all, Epics. Give me the name of that.
Well, Epics is the network, and
right.
It's called Please Be Offended because it just seems like that's the culture. Now everybody's being offended. Everybody likes to feel offended. It's just we're turning into a country of just. I was watching Boys in the Hood last night on a cable network, and there's a scene where Larry Fishburne is talking to Cuba Gooding Jr. about having a baby, and they edited the word rubbers out. Like rubbers, like they replaced it with condoms. It's like, what are you doing? I can see F-bombs or certain horrible things,
right.
But that's where we are. So Please Be Offended, I think, fits, because the whole country I'm just disgusted with.
I think it actually fits you and other comedians who manage to say offensive things and still get people to laugh. Is that an art?
Well, it's just, I think it depends on who you are. If you're doing it to be shocking, like I don't believe in shock value humor. None of it's shocking to me. But if you're just doing it to be extra dirty, it's going to come off. It's going to read phony. I think because it's genuinely my humor, and I'm not apologetic about it. Like, you can never be tentative about a joke. Like, if you're going to talk about Jerry Sandusky, talk about Jerry Sandusky. Don't go, is it okay if just a second, guys? Because you just tiptoe in, the stupid audience will get mad at you.
Out of all the things you're doing, which one do you think contributes the most to your profile and getting your brand out there?
Hard to say, because radio is by far the biggest fan base. Because they're hardcore, they're savages, my fans. They're just, you know, Twitter helps. The Tonight Show is a tremendous help because, you know, talking to 4 or 5 million people, that's a tremendous help. Chelsea Lately is a big help when I do it. It's a smaller audience, but for some reason she just taps into pop culture. I mean, it's a smaller audience than The Tonight Show. And people really call me when I do Chelsea Lately, so it's a million different things.
When you look at your career, how has the business changed other than just the platforms in terms of the business of making money in comedy?
It seems like people are more sensitive now. Maybe we always were, but people are getting in trouble now for saying things that they never should get in trouble for. And it's happening on stage, too. Like, when comedians have to come out and apologize.
Yeah.
Michael Richards was a very, very rare, isolated case of a guy who got caught out there saying something genuinely angry on stage. Like, he wasn't trying to be funny. He was trying to really say something vicious. And there's a great difference between what he said and what Tracy Morgan said, or what Joe Coy said on stage, who were guys that just did tasteless references. So I think, as comics, you know, I just want one comic to just say, go f yourself, when people want an apology. I mean,
well, we were just going to ask you for one after that.
Oh, but I know we're not live, and by the time you hear that, it'll be beeped, as it should be.
With Please Be Offended, you're kind of anticipating that people might be offended and kind of getting ahead of it.
I don't know if honestly, some of it's socially offensive. But I really don't care. I mean, there's some brutal Sandusky material in it. I don't feel bad about it. I attack Rick Santorum pretty horribly because I genuinely dislike him. I don't dislike most politicians on that level, but he was a guy that really bothered me.
What was it about him?
It's just his anti-gay stance really annoys me. I don't like his stupid Potsy Weber hairdo. He's just a goody two-shoes. He wants to legislate like heavy metal.
Oh,
he just stinks. It's like, you have any more 1983 battles you want to fight? Rock music? Ugh.
Has it helped your career that you have all these other avenues that you could
Absolutely.
pursue?
It's cumulative. I mean, the days of Carson going, you know, hey, you're a great kid, sit down. It was a terrible Carson impression, but those days are over. Freddie Prinze was a star after he did The Tonight Show. But now there's Letterman, there's Leno, there's Conan, there's 100 different avenues, there's a million TV shows, there's reality shows. You know, celebrities are just regular people who go to storage units. So there's really not one way to become famous anymore unless you do something terrible. So I think it's a cumulative thing. Like, you know, you do this and then you go out and you do another interview and you do the radio show in the morning, and hopefully it builds and enough people see you where it begins to mean something.
I'm Lee Hawkins. We'll see you next time.